Constructed awareness teaches that reality is constructed by three building blocks. Those are thoughts, sensations, and external senses. So everyone has a mental building block, a sensation building block, and an external building block. It also teaches that people tend to rely more on one building block in different situations. We call that orientation. So sometimes a person can express a mental orientation, a sensation orientation, or external orientation. Now, this concept can be really useful for couples. So you take my marriage, for example. I tend to be more mentally oriented, so I regulate myself through my mind, through logic and reason. And my wife has a very different experience, so she's more sensation oriented, so she regulates herself through her body and expressing her feelings. Now, early in our relationship, we would have conflict, and what would happen is we would then turn to the building block that we're most familiar with to regulate. So if you were to witness or to observe us in the moment, what you would see is my body would shut down, my mind would get really active. I would want to explain things. I would want to talk it out, try to figure out what the problem is. But her mind would shut down and her body would get really active. And so she would express her feelings in a really big way. And I would get confused. I'm like, why don't we just talk it out? And it's like she didn't have the ability to do that. She was just like kind of overwhelmed with her feelings. A way to illustrate that would be, it's like I was standing on the shallow end of the pool and she was out in the deep end trying to stay afloat with all her feelings. And she's saying, swim to me. And I'm saying, swim to me. Like we didn't know how to swim in each other's waters because we literally were living in different realities. I was living in my mind. She was living in her body. Now, through CA practice, we began to learn to swim in each other's waters. It's like we began to learn to speak each other's languages. I began to learn to connect with my body, my sensation building block. And that allowed me to then learn to communicate my feelings in ways I wasn't able to do before. And she would learn to connect more with her mental building block. So she began to like hear her thoughts, and that helped her be able to communicate like what she wants in different situations. So as we began to learn to speak each other's languages, to swim in each other's waters, we began to connect more deeply than we ever have. So if you found this useful, check out constructedawareness.com or like and subscribe. Take care.